Hello, hi. This is Lou Joseph from Remax Preferred Realty, and today I'm going to talk to you about the real estate market as of September 2020 and the results of that month. We have increased sales, increased listings, and also increase in sales price. So we're still in a really strong seller's market here, extremely strong, and we have a lot of pent up demand with buyers, a lot of multiple offers still happening today. And what we are going to see probably in the following months is this action continuing to happen as far as the trend of sales and increase in sales price. So let's take a look here and analyze the numbers and trends and give you guys some little information on how things are panning out and moving forward. Okay, thanks for joining me today, and let's get to it. Okay, so we're here now on the Windsor-Essex County Association of Realtors website. You can easily go to wecaretech.com to look up other months and other years as far as statistics. And we have here market activity of September. We're comparing September of 2020 to 2019. So we see that right now we are increased up, almost 8.5%, month over month. And when we look at the history of 2019 versus 2020, we see that in January we were down in listings, and we started increasing in February and March. But these 2 months really kind of put a monkey wrench into the real estate market. So the lack of inventory here, demand, stayed obviously high in these months, even though we had some lockdowns. So April, May, all these listings are popping up in these months. We have June, we were down compared to June of last year. Same with July, and also same with August. So since March, this is the first month here. September is the first month that we are seeing listings higher than the previous year. So this is the first time. So this is kind of a good indicator that we are getting a lot more supply coming back to the market. Last year we had 877 listings versus September of this year, 951. Okay, so let's hope that this trend stays through to December, which would help a lot of buyers. Now we have market activity for year to date. So we're looking at from the beginning of the year till now. We're still down in listings, almost 11% here, 10.69%. Now sales of September versus sales of September last year, we're up 32.25%. So if we look at the year trend here, so we've seen January the sales were lower compared to last year. February a little higher, March lower, April and May lower. Here we have June was a little bit lower than the previous June, but we have these 3 months in a row, July, August, and September, where the sales are on upward trajectory compared to the same months of last year. But we are still down year to date sales, as for 3% as far as comparing year to date. The average sale price, okay, of September was 30%, almost 31% up from the previous year. So we're seeing that we're at $433,000 for the average sale price of September of this year, versus 331,000 of last year. But this is very interesting. We see in 2019 that the prices went up. They peaked in April, and then they started going sideways here. Versus this year, where the price went up in February, trended downward March and April, but they've been on an upward path since then. We kind of feel like, okay, these 3 months are pretty close in average sale price. So we're having a little bit of a sideways movement in price here. We have to see how this month turns out to get a better idea where prices are going. The average sale price year to date is 20.5%. Now, that's a pretty big number. Um, we've seen this, like, I know that people say we never seen this market before, but actually back in 1974, we actually had that year went up 29.6%. And also 1979, it was 22.9%. So we've been here before as far as average price going up, year to date, a certain, hitting that 20% mark. But the last time we've seen those kind of percent movements, like I said, was 1979, 1974, and 1968. I think we probably will surpass the 1968, the 21%, and possibly even the 1979, where we were 22.9% average sale price increase. So it could be actually in the last 50 years, this year could be the second as far as price increase in 1 year. And then of course we taking a look at residential units sold by price range, and we're always seeing 420,000 to 550 is the big winner here as far as what homes are selling for. These numbers are very dismal, low numbers of sales in these price ranges, but we have lots and lots of people that are pre-approved in these price ranges from 300 and under. So you see how the market's driving prices upward. You have a lot of demand in this area here, and a lot of multiple offers in this area here, which drive up these prices to these categories here. So if you have a $300,000 property, it's selling for 360. So these multiple offers are driving the average sale price, and it's spilling over into these categories here. So that's how we're driving prices from the low end all the way up to the high end. And then of course when you start getting these numbers up, the 420 to $700,000 price range up, now all the new builds are increasing their prices to the 700 to 900 mark. So it's from the ground up that we're pushing prices upwards. And of course, we're always looking at the monthly expenses of owning a home. So with low interest rates, your monthly number is always going to be lower compared to a higher interest rate that we've seen in previous decades. So it makes it the affordability is there, versus say even rent. So you could be renting a house for say 2,200, but you could buy that same house and make monthly payments on it for say 2,000 a month. So there's that comparison is still happening where rent versus owning, which is the monthly affordability indicator there. So year to date, of course, 420 to 550 is very popular, and that kind of that this is pretty much where we're at here. Strong sellers market, and this concludes my report with the monthly statistics here. And let's go into something a little bit more in depth now. Okay, so we're going to look at a few things here. I'm going to click Windsor-Essex County. We're going to keep it with residential. Of course, we have so many categories here: industrial, vacant land, multifamily, farm, condo. But let's just, for simplicity's sake, let's just keep it under residential. And let's look average days on market versus list price median. Let's generate this report. So in the green, we have days to sell, the median days to sell. And in the blue, we have list price, median list price. So as we see in 2015, we are going up in list price and down in days on market. If we click the data tab here, we'll see that in 2015, January, the median days on market to sell a property is 42 days. So that would mean that on average, it takes 42 days to sell a home. So in that case, you're not in multiple offers and not in bidding war market when you have 42 days to take to sell a home. Now, I think that these days, 42 days might seem like forever, but that was the median, so almost the average there, and that was expected at the time. And from this point forward, you see that the median days fluctuate. Obviously, in April in 2015 is 26 days, 23 days in June. Um, when you get into August, it gets a little slower, so you're at the 30 mark, and then when you get into back to December, it's 39, and then January it seems to be the slow time in those kind of markets with 42. So if we look at another January, 2017, it was 25, but then now you're seeing these days go down quite dramatically. So in 2 years' time, we started seeing the 11 days on market. So we started seeing these bidding wars starting to pick up when you start seeing 11 days on market. Then when we get into 2018, we're 9 days on market. That's when you know that you're in a strong seller's market. So let's just take a look right now in January of 2020, 13 days on market. And then we go all the way down to where we are now. September and August of this year was 10 days on market. But we see the average list price increasing right here. So 10 days on the market, strong seller's market, but we're also taking a look at only Windsor-Essex County as a whole. So there's some parts of the county that don't sell as quickly. But if we look at Windsor, LaSalle, and Tecumseh, let's generate the report now with this criteria. And if we look at the data, okay, now where are we at? We're still at the 10 days on market, followed from the previous month of 9 days. So we've been 10 and 9 back and forth since actually March. We had 9 days. So this is still, when we have the single digits, still a really strong market. And the only reason it's the single digits is because that we're having sellers usually wait a week to look at offers. So that they underprice the property. You have 7 days to look at the property before they accept the offer. But if it was up to a buyer, these homes would sell in 1 or 2 days because they're ready to bid on, but they're forced to wait. So I don't think we'll ever see average days dip below, say, 7, because that's, like I said, that's when sellers want to hold off on offers. But if there was no holding off on offers, we could easily see these days drop to like 5 days on market or 4 days. So that's an indication for Windsor, Tecumseh, and LaSalle. So let's just refresh here. Let's take a look at sale price to list price ratio. I like to look at this one. Okay, so what does this mean here? So this is under 100% means that homes are selling below list price. Anything above 100% means that they're selling above list price. So let me click the data here, and this is for the last 5 years here. So we see that in March was the peak at 110%. So that means that it was selling 10 on average. Windsor-Essex County properties are selling in all price ranges. Are selling over 10%. And over here we have, as September, 109%. So we're kind of creeping back up to that 110 mark. Now let's click Windsor, LaSalle, Tecumseh. Let's see what the sales price to list price ratio is here. Okay, so we're seeing that we're at 16% for the last 2 months, 16.7, so slightly edged upwards, the highest out of all the months this year. So on average, 16.7% over list price. They're selling in Windsor, LaSalle, and Tecumseh. We look at the following year. Is there a 16% here? No. Is there 16% in 2018? No. So there isn't any month that I can see here that is a lot higher than these 2 months here. We had that in March as well. So 16% over list price so far is the highest over asking on average that we've seen, I guess, in my time in selling real estate since 2006, because we don't see it here at all as we build up into this market, into this strong sellers market. We don't see those numbers. So this is indication of a really strong market. Prices going up, but they're still selling 16% above list price. Okay. We could break that down into further prices, price ranges. Let's just do one here. Let's just go from 0 to 300,000. Okay. Let's see what comes out of this. 122%, 123 here, 125, 130. So see the difference in the market. If we're looking at Windsor-Tecumseh and LaSalle, all price ranges, so we're looking even at the $1 million homes, right? We get 16%. But if we're looking just under 300,000, so if you're telling yourself, if you go to the bank, they tell you you're approved for 300,000 or 250. This is how competitive it is for you, and that's why you need to be really patient and really aggressive with your offers. You need to have no conditions, and there's ways to do that. You talk to your mortgage company, you tell them, hey, I'm going to put this price on this house. This is the price I'm looking to pay, and we want to go no conditions. Can we get this approval to go in with no conditions? You can do pre-inspections. Inspectors will do inspections with you on the house before you put in the offer. So you can do an inspection 3 days before the offer date, just to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. And from there, you can essentially go in with no conditions, because you're going to get beat out for sure in this price range if you're putting conditions. Usually, it might be a rare instance that you can put a condition in there and wait it out. The seller will wait it out for you, but you'd have to be so much higher in price than the second best offer. That's a no condition offer. But look at February here; it was 30% above list price. That's a big number. Then you see 25, in March, and where we are now, we are increasing. Well, we increased it a bit, right? We're at 23% now, 22. So those are big numbers. What can we say about this market? Like, people that have been in this industry for 40 plus years have never seen it like this strong. We're getting a lot of migration coming in here from other countries, from other cities, even other provinces. Our prices, believe it or not, are really considered low, if you believe that, compared to other places in Ontario. I know people who are residents of Windsor, they find that difficult to believe, but, to grasp. But yeah, if you're going to go to anywhere else in Ontario, you're going to be paying a price there as well. So it's a matter of getting into the market, building some equity, creating some stability for your future. We can go through a lot more other statistics here, but really we kind of, I think, went over the basics. Let's just do one more here. Let's just do Windsor, LaSalle, and Tecumseh and a sales price trend. And of course, you see this trend sideways to upwards and exploding up. And right now, Windsor, LaSalle, and Tecumseh, all price ranges were at 370,000 for the month of September. Of course, we went over the month of September for all of Windsor-Essex County, and it's higher than this, of course, but we're looking at a different segment of Windsor-Essex County. So if there is anything I can do for you as far as answer any questions, or if you're looking to navigate into this market, definitely give me a call. I can help you out. This is exactly where you need professional advice in a market like this when you're buying or selling. There's a lot of equity for sellers right now. Refinancing is something that people are thinking about because they're borrowing money at a very low rate. So some people may be inclined to buy some properties to have as rental properties. or they put money back into their homes before selling, and that usually yields them even bigger return for the money they put in. So again, my number is 519-817-0887. Be glad to talk to you, and we'll tune in next month to see how October went along. Thanks for your time. Take care.